Let's talk about the new film, Terrifier 3. I had the chance to watch this at Fantastic Fest. By the way, we watched 18 movies at Fantastic Fest, so we have a ton of things to go over in the coming weeks. And I still haven't even caught up with tips, so make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell because you got a ton of videos coming your way. Before September ends, I want to get through all of these movies I watched, and yeah, it's a huge undertaking. But let's talk about Terrifier 3. This is why you came for, the movie that Damien Leone promised to top the second one, which just went wild with that bedroom scene. It was all over. Everybody was saying they were walking out. People couldn't take it. They couldn't stomach it. There was these videos. There was these pictures of people in the theater. There was one with an ambulance at a point, which I don't know what to think about that one. But what do I think? Does Terrifier 3 top the second one? Yes, it really does, in a big way. So before I get into it, I want to let you know there will be no spoilers in this review. I will save that for a spoiler-full video coming out once the film is closer to release. So stay tuned for that one because I really want to go into detail with some of the things that were shown in this movie. So with Terrifier 3, this is the third in the franchise, more along the lines maybe the second one in the whole story with Sienna and Art the Clown. And the story really gets pushed in an interesting way, in a way I did not expect at all as well, but more of that in the spoiler video. First and foremost, does Terrifier 3 live up to it being more gruesome and taking things more to the extreme than Terrifier 2 or the first Terrifier did? Yes, it does. There are so many moments here right from the beginning where it immediately just does everything it did in the second one, and then the things that follow after that are just over the top insanity. And I said it in my first reaction coming out of the theater at Fantastic Fest after watching it. This is Maximalist Grindhouse horror. This is no holding back. This is just going forward and just going even further with it. And that's exactly how I came into this movie expecting it. Like, I know a lot of people aren't really fans of the Terrifier series. I myself am just like always been in the middle. I never hated it or really loved it either. I was just like there. And you know, I just came into this one expecting what it was going to be, right? And it didn't let me down in that aspect. And I was just there watching this and thinking, yeah, I think with this one, Leone really has put everything he has like learned from the previous entries with Art the Clown, even with Hallows Eve, and really given us a great mixture of everything here. Now, a lot of people do get on about it with the story and stuff like that. I think he did a good job here with the story when it comes to just sort of pushing the lore. And I think the only problem I had with the movie is it was a lot more setup with this movie than the previous one. And there was a lot more just waiting for that final third act to really see the story get pushed forward. Whereas I feel everything else prior to that was more like showing off Art the Clown, as well as Victoria Hayes, who is a prominent character now in the series as well. Victoria Hayes always gets to me very, very scary. But Lauren Lavera honestly is so great in this movie as Sienna. She really is just that actor that's really pushing the film forward. A lot of her here is showing so much range because you have Lauren playing Sienna, who has been traumatized by everything that happened in Terrifier 2, and you see her sort of juggling all of these different emotions where she feels sad about everything that occurred and everybody she's lost. She feels scared, she feels hopeless, and also she feels angry about the situation and where she is now, and almost helpless as well. And you really see her go through all of these different emotions in this runtime, where she's sharing it as well with Art the Clown and Victoria Hayes. So she really has to push these feelings forward and really have them land. And I think Lauren Lavera does it so well here. So I'm excited to see more of Lauren in future films besides the Terrifier films, because I think she's such a great actress. So super excited about that. Art the Clown, who here is played by David Thornton, is just more funny than I've ever seen Art the Clown be. There are just these amazing moments where it's just these mannerisms that David's able to do that really just get to you, because as we know, Art the Clown doesn't speak, and all he does is sort of be like this clown mime of sorts. And I think he really excels at pushing this narrative and really showcasing and speaking to the audience without actually speaking to the audience. And it's almost like a silent Freddy Krueger is how I would describe it, because Freddy Krueger is a character, a horror icon that definitely will be chopping somebody up and at the same time delivering a joke here and there for you in a meta sort of way. And Art the Clown does that here. There are times when he's listening to conversations and all of this, and it's sort of like it's a joke between you and Art the Clown as the audience, and it really does does land, it hits. There's such a way that this is directed that is so funny, honestly. When it comes to the gore and the horror and all of that, I think Leone, of course, is no stranger to really going for those practical effects. And I think here he does a great job with them as well. There are so many gross out moments here and there, and it really is amped up from the previous film, which I didn't know they were able to do. I was wondering, will they be able to do this? Is this just gonna be just all hype? Is this really like the most like disturbing of the three? And I didn't watch it on the opening night or the world premiere. I watched it like 2 or 3 days after their encore screening at Fantastic Fest. And so I had heard the hype coming out of that opening night, and everybody was excited. Everybody was saying that yes, it indeed topped itself from the previous ones. And I was just like, we'll see. But no, let me tell you, as soon as this movie went, I was just like, yeah, this did it. And then there's a scene in the middle, the shower scene that you've all seen from the trailer, and I was like, hey, you did it. You really did it. I don't know how you're gonna do it in the fourth one, what your plan is for that one. I'm very curious to see if you're trying to top yourself off from this number 3, but we'll see. But that shower scene got to me. There's some other scenes in there that I think people are gonna be like, what? Like, I kid you not, there were so many people in my audience, every time some of these scenes would happen, raise their hands up or just be like, what? Audibly, like, and you didn't blame them because in your head, you were thinking the same thing. You were like, I can't believe they went there, but they went there. And so I really do think that this Terrifier film, the third one, is the best one in the series so far. I think that Leone has really put everything together and is almost in a way like actively, I feel like, listening to what the audience and what the fans want, but at the same time still not sort of like bending to all of that. He's like listening, but he's also listening to himself, you know what I mean? And he's really putting it all together really well. So I'm excited to see what the fourth one will bring. But overall, I enjoyed Terrifier 3 more than I thought I would, because I wasn't too keen on it. I thought that the first one, it was just like, I don't know, it's just like, okay. I thought the second one had some really great highlights. I just thought it was a little bit too long at points. But I think with the third one, there really is a great balance of the first one with its grindhouse feeling and all of that. And then the second one adding a story, a final girl and all of that to it. I think that now with this third one and pushing the lore forward for not just Art the Clown, but Sienna's as well, I think that they really found a great balance, and I'm excited to see what they want to do next. So like I said, this is definitely a Maximalist Grindhouse horror film. It is going to go there, go forward, and keep going forward. And when you think it's done, it's just going to keep going forward. And I think that's what makes it such a great film on its own right, is that it's doing what it just wants to do, and it's going to go forward doing what it needs to do. And it doesn't really care what you think about it. And you always got to give filmmakers some credit when it comes to that, and just artists in general, that they are putting their whole vision forward, no matter how big, how extravagant, or how ridiculous and absurd it can get for you, it's still going forward. And you know, I always think that's what makes daring art the best. And here we are, we're Art the Clown on its third, fourth film now. So we'll see what Terrifier 4 is going to bring to the table. And I'll be there. Because I definitely enjoyed this one. I give it a 3.7 out of 5. Definitely worth checking out if you're a big fan of the series already. If you really hate Terrifier, this might not be the film for you. I think that if you weren't already like okay with the second one, but if you hated the second one, then you're gonna hate this one for sure. And if you're just somebody who wants to see the effects and all of that, and just how far Damien Leone pushes it, definitely watch this one. But like I said, it's not going to make you a fan if you weren't already a fan, or if you just hate the series in general. You're better off just watching something else. But overall, I enjoyed it. I thought that the Terrifier series is definitely one that I'm excited to see where they push it forward to next. And I'll be seated. But let me know your thoughts and your opinions once you see it. Let me know if you're excited for the film. I will be having a spoiler-full video coming out once the film gets closer to release, as well as talking more about the lore and what could come next and mythology that Damien Leone is building here, because it's interesting. So if you want that, subscribe, notification bell, on the road to 35,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.